festival, which turns out to be a family reunion.
Hmm.
All of the women that's part of the cooking committee, they go straight to the kitchen.
Hmm.
All of the ones that's in charge with setting up the table and shit, they go straight to the dining room. Don't nobody got to tell them when they get out the car, they ain't seen each other in 5 years. They know exactly where to go.
Right.
Right? Because they done been to Big Mama house, they know how shit run. Right? If you don't know what to do, go ask your Aunt Ruby. She gonna send you down there to your Uncle Cleve, and he gonna take y'all where they cleaning the fish at, show y'all how to make sure y'all know how to clean some fish when y'all come back to Big Mama house next year. Right? So they use the family members to teach the history of the family around family functions. This is why they don't want us gathering. They don't want our families having family reunions. They discourage it because as soon as we figure out enough of us in one family, we ain't came on no goddamn boat. One of these niggas gonna say, hey, y'all contract is up. The date was this. We came back for every fucking thing you son of a bitches took, plus motherfucking interest and tax, and you have to go now.
Hmm.
And that's exactly what happened. Because since we didn't have a family reunion, I had to go live with different family members in order to get that part of the family's piece to the puzzle to put the family back together.
Hmm.
So I went to stay with members of both sides of the family, my mama's side and my daddy's side. They all, I'm the most loved, most respected, or the most despised and most rejected.
Hmm.
So since I'm the most loved and respected out of all of the motherfucking despised and rejected, that make me be the black sheep out of all of the black sheep that the black sheep love the most. And that's how you get to be a chief on the land.
But that's the other thing is like, because, okay, so how can I put this in words? We have to have enough humility to be able to see our elders and respect them as such, because
Yeah.
people are appointed for a reason in the season, and we have to you have to respect that. You have to respect your position and play your position, and everybody's not a chief. Some of us are Indians, and you got to be okay with that, and you got to knock that
Yeah.
jealousy out the window. And for anybody who doesn't have that big mama or that family to go to, then you got to start looking for those role models and elders to have that family reunion with.
Yeah. And a lot of us hold on to childhood grudges that if you was an adult, you would have made a similar decision yourself,
Mm-hmm.
all things being considered. But people hold on to the childhood grudges.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them, like, I don't blame a molested child for never forgiving their molester.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't gonna never tell them to do that. But for the kid that got the ass whooped for being a little badass kid, you probably didn't get enough ass whooping. That's probably why you ended up where I was at.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't got no motherfucking sympathy for that shit. It's part of life.
But that's where accountability comes in, because you have to be able to say where you did wrong and where you did right, where you fell short and where you succeeded or exceeded. But you have to have
Right. And
enough.
that's the part of shadow work that everybody fear. Because when they realize that they ain't no better than you, then they trying to put you down, that means that they really was putting themselves down the whole time.
Right. And that's what I was talking about earlier when I was like, giving the analogy of Moesha, like in doing that healing work. When we talk about the flipping, that healing work is important because all of that muck, it fucks with your decision making skills.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to do the shadow work. You can't run from it,
Yeah.
because really you
But
running from the light when you run from the shadow work.
don't nobody want to say, look, we drive up to the stop sign at the same time. Motherfucker scream out the window, stupid motherfucker. Right? We both just pulled up to the fucking stop sign. And we both stopped. Who is really the stupid motherfucker? Why do I even need to respond at that point? He just proved that he was the one who was really the stupid motherfucker.
Yeah.
He was mad because he wanted to run the stop sign, but when he seen me stopping at the stop sign, he knew he couldn't run it because it's a possibility I might run it.
Mm-hmm.
So now he got to stop. And since we both stopping, it's my fault that he had to stop when he wanted to run the stop sign. So his natural presumption is that I'm the stupid motherfucker, when he's the stupid motherfucker for being mad because he had to stop at a stop sign.
Right.
You knew it was a stop sign there before you got there,
He forgot the
motherfucker.
rules of the engagement. He wanted to ignore them. You can't ignore the rules. In nature, when you ignore the rules, there's two things: life or death. In nature, when an animal ignores the rule of the kingdom, it's a consequence. Animals in nature I love so much because they live
Hey,
life
look,
in the natural way that life is supposed to be lived.
I'm about to say some racist ass shit.
No.
This the truest shit a motherfucker could say. All you gotta do is watch these white people. He's just a little cute grizzly bear, only 400 pounds. Let me hug him. He's wild. He's never seen humans before. I know I can hug this motherfucker. Nigga, you gonna go sit your ass down somewhere?
Look.
What's that, 10 of swords?
Yeah, the bear is gonna kill your ass. No.
Hell yeah. Hey, look, that's a confirmation like a
That's
motherfucker.
funny. Spirit is funny. Spirit is funny. Spirit got jokes. And that's why I think sometimes we lose compassion, because Spirit got a sense of humor. And that's why we laugh at a lot of things that are painful. But we gotta reel that in, because like maybe I don't know where that started, but that lack of compassion, man, it creates so much other shit, because you laugh at somebody going through some pain and now they giving you the evil eye.
Mm-hmm. But the lack of compassion was taught to us.
Right.
It took harsh circumstances with no relief in order to make us not care what your struggle was. That means that they had to stop us from helping each other overcome the struggle to build a barrier between us.
Right.
You seen me struggling, trying to change the flat tire, and you kept going.
Right.
Right? You know what you saw. You know what you felt by keep going, and you ignored all that shit in order to not offer aid and assistance. Right? So when you see me again and you changing your flat, I remember when you drove past me.
Right. But see, the fucked up part, like you said earlier, is like when you found out that the people who did us dirty look just like us. It's like we're all mad at each other, thinking that it was each other, and really it was them. Like
The
you
whole
said, the
time.
separation, the whole
Yeah.
time, and they are banking on the fact that we'll have that prejudice and separation in our minds so deep that we'll knock each other off. Then it can release the robots.
So when you review history, look at the public display, right? When you look at the images from parades of the UNIA and the activities of the MSTA in 1920s, you see all our faces. We all hanging out of windows and shit. We knew who we was, but we didn't know what to do about it. Right? Now, when you get in the 50s and we start talking Rosa Parks, refusing to get up on the bus, marching with King, you see a sea of pale faces right in there with brown faces. When you go back and research all of the uprisings, you see that all of the ones that look like us, Gabriel Prosper, Denmark Vesey, etc., was egged on by a pale-skinned European to get their freedom back And one of them, I think it was Gabriel Prosser, had the quartermaster general who had access to the armory, bringing him the key to the armory to arm the people to fight against the rebellion. I mean, against the invader. Then some nigga told the enemy, told on the pale face, and told on Gabriel Prosser. It's in the books. It's not a secret.
A sellout.
Yeah. Every single one of those attempts where that we were being egged to get out of this condition by pale faces, we was betrayed by melanated, woolly-haired faces. All of the ones on record. The only one that wasn't betrayed immediately was Toussaint. When they murdered him, that's when they infiltrated.
That was a stronghold.
Right. And now they don't want to close the conjure because that means that they lose all power. They got to close the Haitian conjure, and Haiti keep getting hit with shit because they got an open war conjure that's over 200 years old. At the close of the age, that shit has to be closed out.
Okay.
But there's some motherfuckers that look like us that's trying to stop everything. They can't stop nothing, though. You know they is. It ain't no secret no more. The secret that they had ain't no secret no more. Now they exposed to the public. Now they got to get exposed publicly. Fuck them. I don't got no sympathy for them.
But why did they do it?
Because they wanted to claim Earth for their own. They ain't from here.
So
they were a different species similar to us.
No, so I know that.
From a different type of universe.
Okay, so I know that. So then when they came here, they had to take the form of like
the highest evolutionary organism on the planet,
yes.
which was the melanated.
Yes. Okay. Okay. That makes sense.
Right.
That makes sense. And we were peaceable people, just like in the Bible when they talk about, what was it? Was it Babylon? No.
We was,
before
we still warriors, right? But we had ran out of wars to fight.
Right.
Because we had got so intelligent that war was like asinine, foolish, and childish.
We had come to that
That's how it evolved.
Right.
Right. So the golden age has to bring this back to the surface so that we know the level of potential our mind have in order to move into a golden age again. Because that's where we're going. And the sun cycle brings the golden age. In the Jubilee year, 2022 is the Jubilee year. It's the final closing out of all of the contracts that held people hostages and enslaved. By the close of the year, there will be no more contracts that's open. They'll all be closed. And the only thing we're going to have to work on is getting Haiti to close that war contract.
Okay. So I had a dream a long time ago, and it was of Oya. And so I know that they're a dying breed, but it's just like the reason why I pitch community and unity so hard is because, like you said, they separated us and they lied to us so we could fight off each other and kill off each other. But you know, that artificial intelligence and like that, you know, everybody is so big on having the newest Tesla and all of these things. Like, I hate to sound so old school, but I just feel like um, they are, that's their last hoorah.
Okay, so what they did, this is what make it difficult for us to face the short struggle we gonna go through. We gonna get this struggle.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody gonna get this work.
Mm-hmm. Because it has to be
Yeah,
in
ain't no
plans anyway. So it's like,
the level of your preparedness gonna determine how much of this work your ass gonna get.
yes, sir.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
So when the system shut down, don't say we didn't tell you. Don't say you didn't have a chance to prepare, because I've been telling motherfuckers for 3 fucking years.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I done laid down the structure of the fall so that motherfuckers don't step into the road and a building drop on his head. Right? This shit is over with. But in the process of it, you still got to clean up the old shit before you break out the new shit.
Right.
Because you need to know what part of the old shit has to go and what parts you can use even if it's temporarily. Because you got to use anything that's useful.
Right.
And anything that's not useful, you discard that shit. This is why we say no more GMOs in the food,
And
right?
mm-hmm.
So they burning down the factories that making the GMO food. One of Gates' motherfucking manufacturing facilities just burned up overseas yesterday. You know, so we not watching those little events like that, like Rome on fire, you know, the time, the date, what's going on in the world politically, what's going on across the land socially, right? If you don't pay attention to that stuff, you can't see it. But if you see it, the people that's not paying attention is going to say that you don't see what you're telling them because they can't see it.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have the glasses on.
Yeah. You know,
And somebody said, don't forget to read that card. That you must have
there
pulled.
wasn't,
You
there
pulled a
was no,
card.
yeah, I have been, you know, just when, like I was talking, stuff was coming out, confirming, but he hasn't asked a question, y'all. But I hope y'all listening to what he's saying, because that's the thing. It's like, you know, the road is narrow, and the reason why they say that is because y'all attention span, even my attention span, I'll come home knowing I need to do some shit and stay on Instagram. Like, how prepared are you? How prepared are you? Because, and how right are you with spirit? How light is your heart? Because there is there's a time and a place for everything. And don't think that you know what really fucks with me is when people think they're supposed to be covered by grace when they doing all kind of wrong shit.
Well, you know, that's just narcissism at its finest.
But that's that
I can
inaccountability.
fuck over. Look, I'm fucking over everybody I come across talking about unprotected.
Right. And then get mad when you get stabbed, or, you know what I'm saying, you trip and break your arm. What? God didn't have me. No, you didn't have God.
Flat out. Flat out. So we need to go back to where we didn't have nursing homes. If one of the aunties couldn't take care of herself, she'd go out to Big Mama house.
Yes.
And then the teenage girls that was learning health care would be they CNAs that take care of them because they family, they ain't gonna mistreat them.
Yeah, they'll be over there, and then you soaking up all of that game.
Yeah.
Like, you getting all of that, all of those lessons. You know, when elders, like, you think they repeating themselves, or they just running off at the mouth. That's spirit speaking to you. That's a lesson.
Yep.
That's lessons. You know, the best way to learn something is through somebody else's experience, so you don't have to go through the hardship. So when you hear
That's the way.
people,
That's called the way of the wise.
so when you hear people sharing their personal story, instead of making fun of them and talking shit, actually listen to the lesson And a lot of y'all laugh or make fun of people when they being vulnerable and really missing the blessing is coming to save your ass. I need to be more compassionate. I'm not being compassionate because the reason why I'm talking like that is I'm talking to myself.
Look, you care. Look, that's segment.
Yeah, I'm talking.
Segment ain't gonna look. Segment got look. Y'all gotta straighten the fuck up. That's what segment tell them. I don't got time to be trying to burp you and give you a pacifier. Get your motherfucking ass off your motherfucking pity party horse. Get your ass in the fight. You part of this shit, whether you want to be or not. So you might as well pick up your motherfucking banner and march with the motherfuckers that's gonna be victorious because they on the move. That's what segment gonna tell them.
Get it together, like 702 said. We have to get it together. And the one thing that irks my nerves is when we claim royalty, royalty, royalty. It's in our DNA. We got magic, and ain't nothing magical about none of the shit that you do.
No, nothing magical and nothing regal.
Nothing.
Got no etiquette whatsoever.
No code, no respect, nothing.
Yeah.
But what you said was so true. If you are able to connect with your family, if you still have elders that are living, because this was an attack like on the elders, just really on all of us, but really attack on our elders, because when history is lost, the younger generation is lost. And a lot of my generation is still trying to live their younger days. So that grandma and grandpa shit is kind of far-fetched or hard to find because they trying to relive their youth. So we have to take our position as elders and really settle down in our lives and in our hearts and in our minds. And we have to open up to the lessons that we share with each other. And we got to connect with our family again if you can. If you can make your wrongs right, if you can make amends, do it. If you can't, pray about it. Ask for forgiveness. Ask to be led to figure out how to change and how to elevate and how to be the best you possible.
The secrets of prayer, since we on Oracle Connections, is the first understanding is that you're talking to your higher consciousness, and your higher consciousness is your direct telephone line to Prime Source Creator. You can't send your higher self to get an answer and Source don't give it to him. The problem is when you get done with the prayer, that's when you have to, as they say in the church, let go and let God.
Right.
Right? You got to let your higher self in the universe work out the problems that's too complicated for you to work out, but you work out the ones within your control.
Yeah.
So you make the microcosm flips the macrocosm. If you control the ones you can, the ones you can't, the universe control for you.
You are giving big gems. That's a big
right. And don't close your prayer by saying Amen, because that's telling the force of the God to keep it a secret. And if you keep it a secret, then it's kept sacred. That means you can't access it in the mundane.
What's the meaning